Hey there, it's Rochelle here from Soundscaping Source. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 tips for building your repertoire as a music therapist. Now, obviously, this is something that we have to keep doing throughout our careers, but sometimes it can be kind of hard to find the motivation to do it. So Anastasia and I, my staff music therapist and I, have been talking about this a lot recently because we're at 2 very different places in our careers. She's a pretty new MTBC, and she's just been with my company for a few months. This is her first job, and so she's at a place where she is learning new songs at a pretty rapid clip just to build up her repertoire big enough that she can serve our older adult clients effectively. Now, for me, I've been practicing for 14 years, and so I have a pretty sizable repertoire. I can run a session without learning any new songs most of the time. The danger for me is that the musical material gets stale, that, I'm missing out on really great songs or really great musical material out there that I haven't taken the time to discover and to learn. And then, of course, the people who are living in nursing homes now are of a whole different generation than the people who were living there 15 years ago when I was getting into this work. So it is important for all of us to keep building our repertoire. So how to find the motivation? Well, let me give you 3 tips from Anastasia and me for building your repertoire. First of all, one tip is to give yourself a practice schedule. So you can schedule 9:30 on Tuesdays. This is when I'm working on new music, or 5:30 on Thursdays. It could be whatever works with your schedule. And if you sit down with your guitar and a fake book or at the piano at that same time every week, then you are going to learn more material and you're going to get better at your craft and at your instrument. And that's good. It's going to improve your skills. This worked for us when we were in college, right? So when I was practicing oboe in that practice room at the University of Evansville for, an hour every day or so, I got better, right? And then I was prepared for my recital, my juries, all that. Same thing. We know how to practice. And so give yourself a practice schedule, and that will make it easier for you to find the motivation to build your repertoire. That's tip 1. So tip 2 is to give yourself a deadline. So I think the easiest way to get motivated for me is when I have a client who wants to hear a particular song the next time I see them. So there's a deadline there for me. There's an external motivation saying you need to learn this song by this time. And so I usually find the time to do that, right? So you can give yourself a deadline to learn a song for a particular client, but also to prepare some musical material for a group session that you're planning or for a presentation that you're planning. And having that event coming up will be the motivation that you need to practice that song and get it down solidly enough that you can use it in your work. And then the third tip for motivating yourself to practice is to set a goal, right? We're music therapists, so we're good at goals. And so you can do that for repertoire development too. So you want to set a SMART goal. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relatable or relevant, and then time contained or time oriented. So your SMART goal for repertoire development could be, I want to learn 4 new songs from the 1950s and 60s by the end of the month. Okay, so maybe that is something that's totally attainable. Or it could be, I want to learn 1 new country song and 1 new pop song every week for the next quarter. That would also be a SMART goal, a little bit more ambitious than the previous one. Okay, so the setting a goal is another way to motivate yourself to learn your repertoire. Okay, so just to review those, 3 tips. You got give yourself a practice schedule, give yourself a deadline, or create yourself a SMART goal, something for you to attain. Okay, those are 3 ways to motivate yourself to practice your repertoire. Now, if you are a SMART goal kind of person, or if you're somebody who likes to reach a goal alongside other people, then I have something that you're going to be interested in. We are opening up our Rev Up Your Repertoire challenge inside our MT Insider community. So if you would like to participate in our challenge to build your repertoire, we're going to be learning 4 songs over 4 weeks, from one each from the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. We'll have some activity to go around that, and we'll generate some music experience ideas and put together compilation and things too. We did this challenge, an open challenge back in November, very similar, and it was great. We had a lot of people who completed the challenge. We learned a lot of new songs, and I learned from everybody who participated in the challenge about different things that we could, different songs and experiences and interventions that we could all do with all that new musical material. So if you want to take part in the Rev Up Your Repertoire Challenge, you do need to be a member of MT Insider. There's information below this video for a special offer that we have right now if you would like to join MT Insider and take part in the Rev Up Your Repertoire Challenge with us. All right? Otherwise, keep building your repertoire, and I will see you in another video.